This garden is bursting with growth, and I just have to show you guys what's going on in the garden. Hey guys, I gotta give you a garden update. It is blooming like crazy in the garden. Let me actually start over here with the blueberry bush. Keith has done as usual and he covered the blueberries with a netting. But we just picked a whole bunch of blueberries and they are looking amazing. So blueberry season has begun. Blackberry bushes are looking really, really good. We have lots of flowers and lots of starts of raspberries. We have 4 plants this year, where last year we only had 2. I still have these beds across here with onions, and these onions are getting really, really big, so they're gonna have to be pulled very soon. This is our first time growing onions from seeds, and I am so excited about the onions. Back here in these 4x4 beds, I did used to have onions. We've completely pulled them out. Over here, we have put in butternut squash in the corners. We have peanuts in the front and back. And then Keith decided to plant the Myers lemon right in the middle of the 4x4. And then in this one, we have spaghetti squash in all 4 corners. Same thing with some peanuts that are popped in the front and the back. And then over here, this is a Caracara orange bush. Let me jump into this bed here. Let me go back here first. Keith has expanded the Black Jewel raspberries. We now have 2 rows of these, but they haven't quite started to bloom yet. Well, that's not true. I do have some, very little, just starting. We have 1 asparagus little bush right here still, well, plant still here, but we may end up getting rid of that one. And this has been such a surprise for me this year. Last year I could not grow beets even if I tried. It just didn't work for me. But for whatever reason, it's working this year. So I have some great beets that are starting. Let's see if I can show you in here. There you go. They look great. So I am so excited because I didn't have any beets last year. And then right across the middle here is some shelling peas. Okay, this bed right here, I have some corn in the back and some pinto beans in the front. That is Country Gentleman corn. Then over here I have Golden Bantam corn in the back. And in the front here is Blue Lake beans. However, they are not working because I have a cutworm that keeps going in here and is at night destroying these and has wiped them out. Look at the bean right there, and he just cuts the bottom of it. So I gotta replant some of those, but first I gotta get rid of the cutworm. And I had some of the same problem in here too. In the back here I have a couple of edamame plants, but the cutworm has absolutely destroyed all the edamames that were back on that side. So I have to treat the cutworm. In the middle here, I have a whole bunch of peppers. These were leftover peppers from the other bed. I have 2 Marconis, a Keystone, a Bell, a lunchbox, and another lunchbox. Then across the front, I have Savannah mustard. Moving on to this bed over here, I have 3 eggplants in the middle, parsley in the front, and cilantro in the back. So all my eggplants are kind of in this area. So in the keyhole beds here, I have same concept. I have some eggplants all across the middle in each one of these beds, and then some type of onion is in the back, and in some of these beds here, I have spicy basil in the front, spicy basil here, onions in the back, and then in this bed here, I actually have lemon basil across the outside with the eggplant in the middle, and a big patch of cilantro where I have already harvested that so many times already this year. Over in this bed here, I still have onions that are left over. In these two beds, again, these are getting real close to pulling and harvesting. As soon as these guys fall over, they'll be ready to be pulled. And what Keith did is he took a lemon, I think this is a Eureka lemon, and planted him right there. Now back up and show you guys over here. These are our paste tomatoes. These are San Marzano tomatoes. And here's Aroma tomatoes. So this whole section in here has a bunch of tomatoes. I did a whole video on the tomatoes, so I won't go into all the details of the tomatoes. But these, you can see the trellis up here. These are all the big slicer type tomatoes here. I still have sugar snap peas that are trellising up here. And we're picking tons of these. Absolutely one of my favorite things in the garden. More tomatoes over here. More sugar snap peas. You'll actually see some kale that's still in here from overwintering. Then I pop back over here. More tomatoes in here. And I have right down the middle is some Louisiana shallots. And then other tomato bed is right here. This has a mixture of some stuff. I have a little bit of dinosaur kale that's still in there, and I'm waiting for this to go to seed because I want to save the seeds for next year. Then I'm going to move over to here. This is my whole row of in-ground tomatoes. This is our first year putting them in ground. These are all roadsters in the beginning, red snappers at the second half. Then on this side I have some ace tomatoes and a couple, I think a couple leftovers, a roadster and a red snapper over here. I can't believe how much in this section here, this is growing so fast. These are, we'd end up putting trellises here, and you can see the shade cloth across each one of these beds. And in these beds, I'll go to the back side so you can kind of see. In the front here is zucchinis, and then across the back is a row of cucumbers, and I have lots of different types of cucumbers in here. So let's see if I can identify some of these. So I have some Pantheon zucchinis, and I have some Black Beauties. So across here for cucumbers, I have Market More. Then I have some white spine cucumbers. In total, I have 25 cucumber plants. I still have this bed to pull for onions. Again, these guys are looking nice and big. Love it. In here is some straight neck yellow squash. And I'm getting my first little straight neck right there. A tiny bit of leftover garlic. I've pulled a lot of the garlic out, but I have a tiny bit left. Then more cucumbers back here. In this section, I have, let me see what the tag says. Oh, these are my burpless cucumbers. And then I have some extra straight necks. Look at that, I got another one right there. Oh, that's awesome. So more straight neck yellow squash. Oh, I got another one. Oh, so cool. We had a little extra space here, pulled out some of the onions, so we popped in extra eggplants and more straight neck yellow squash there. And then across here is, I think these are more straight necks. Oh, these are my patty pans. Right across here, 3 patty pans, a little bit of garlic. And then in the back here, this is my straight 8 cucumbers. Then another batch of onions. Again, getting so close to pulling these guys. And then in this bed, I have acorn squash in the front. And in the back, my Chicago pickling cucumbers. Sneaking back here to this bed. This is my asparagus spread. They're still young, so I haven't been really picking them. I'm just letting them go to ferns or fronds. But so far they're looking really, really good. Now that's all of most of our in-ground beds. So let's go around this way. I have 3 bags of sunchokes, also known as Jerusalem artichokes, growing like crazy. I gotta trellis them or tie them back pretty soon. Over here is some tomatillas. Look at the flowers on these guys already. Just beautiful. Beautiful. And Keith has started some in-ground growing bags. So these are sweet potatoes. And more sweet potatoes across here. Then regular potatoes. We actually got a lot of rain yesterday, so we lost some of these types of potatoes. But he's got lots of different kinds. This is purple Peruvian. More potatoes. Let's see, these are russet potatoes. Banana fingerling potatoes. Rosebite potatoes and Yukon potatoes. Then we have 6 bags down here of watermelon. Since we had lots of extra plants, we just popped a few in the front. Probably way too many watermelon, but we didn't want to throw the seeds out, or we didn't want to throw the plants out, so we just left them. Then over here, actually let's go over here first. A couple of citrus trees we tried and we put in the ground. There's a honey tangerine and a Valencia orange. We are not in a zone to actually have these 2 citrus trees, but we figured we would at least try them. And then here's Keith's whole bed of corn. He's got some country gentleman in these 2 rows here and some golden bantam on that side of the bed. So if I pop back up here, in this section, we have a mix of a couple of leftover zucchinis right here, and then the beds that actually have the little, call them ramps, is pumpkins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different bags of pumpkins. These are apple pie, or these are New England pie pumpkins. And then over here on the last 2 with the up and down trellis is the Hale's Best cantaloupes. So we ended up having a ton of extra tomatoes because obviously we had way too many. So we ended up putting a whole bunch in grow bags right here. We're just gonna trellis them up and see what happens. The grapevine is looking amazing. Let me see if I can get in here and show you some of the growth on it. Look at these little grapes are just starting. Just fantastic. Just exploding with growth. So underneath are strawberries, and these are called pine berries. They're kind of like a white strawberry. And then Keith has a whole bunch of propagation going on here. Look at those flowers. Just beautiful. We pop back up here to these raised beds. Oh, I should probably say I have 2 more trees right here and right here. These are lime trees, key limes. And then in these beds, I did a whole video on all these beds. Is all different types of peppers. So I won't go into all the varieties. I'll leave a link for all different varieties of peppers in here. Mixed in with a lot of these is lots of different lettuces, some Louisiana shallots that are growing. And then we have a whole bunch of flowers this year in each one of the pots all over. Come up here, we have a couple of grow bags of some extra stuff that we're working on. This is an olive tree right here. I have bay leaves. These are my celeriacs. I actually have, finally, my turmeric is starting to pop up. We've been waiting and waiting and waiting for that. Yeah, that's awesome. A couple of hydrangeas, some thyme right there. And we filled this whole bed over here with a whole bunch of kales, collards, lettuces. Savannah mustard is also in here. Yeah, but we had to cover this because it's starting to get really, really warm. And the whole arbor section is just overflowing right now. It's huge. The 2 apple trees right here, I'm actually getting my first set of apples on the Freedom apple. Look at that. Nice little apple. Then I have right down here, come around, 3 bags with peanuts in it. Nothing happening with the pomegranate tree this year. Nothing happening with that pomegranate tree this year. I got a couple of grow bags in here with carrots started. Still have to keep thinning these. But I do have some carrots starting down in here. Not sure what's going on with this plum tree. Keith and I are beginning to doubt that we actually got a plum tree, because this is supposed to be a plum tree. And that little guy right there is supposed to be a plum tree. I don't know why this guy is so big. We're beginning to doubt this is a plum tree. It's not a dwarf, and it's way too big. So this tree may be coming out. We'll have to figure that one out. But it's way too big. The pear trees, this one and this one, no fruit on those guys this year. Hopefully next year. If I sneak around here, here's the Latham raspberries. Let's see if I can show you in here. There is a lot of berries that are starting to, can you see that? Just starting to pop through. So I think we're gonna have a ton of berries. And then Keith also started this row right across here of berries. The last place for me to show you is the row of figs across here. Here's all the different figs, and they're growing huge right now. I love it. No figs yet, but they're definitely growing really well. And I forgot about these 2 apple trees. I have an apple tree here and an apple tree there. This is my crisp pink. I am starting to get some apples here. And I have some apples over here. They're also starting. And this one is my Liberty apple. My last place in the backyard here to show you is on the back deck. Here is the row of ground cherries. These are all the Cossacks. These actually are so delicious. They taste like, even though these are tomatoes, they taste like pineapple, and this one tastes like strawberry shortcake. These are Aunt Molly's, and they're growing like crazy right now too. Absolutely love these. And we have our strawberry stacker. Already getting strawberries on there. Another one of pine berries there. Strawberry stacker here. Those are they're ever bearing strawberries. And my lettuce stacker is just growing like crazy here. We actually have a bird's nest in one of our stackers. We have pulled it out 3-4 times, but she still comes back and she has built a nest. So we're working with her now. We're gonna let her stay. So that is the update of our backyard. Like I said, it is just growing like crazy. So thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next video.